I love Souls-likes. I get sucked into dying over and over until I manage to overcome what's standing in front of me, losing my sanity to pixels on a screen. So when I stumbled upon an almost Souls-like game in a drawn style by indie developers, you know I was bricked up. Not clenched by the jaws of the AAA studio trying to get money from every angle. Something that looks and feels like it was born straight from creativity. So join me today as we take a look at But first, what makes a game a Souls-like? Well, there's a few things that I consider to be a must for a game to be categorized as a Souls-like. Enemies have to be diverse and in-depth, not your run-of-the-mill trash mob. They need mechanics and moves, things that make the player think. Enemies shouldn't just be there to stop you in your tracks, but should be there to make the player feel something. Allow you to test your skills and abilities. Now, of course, not every enemy is going to be able to one-hit you, but we also shouldn't be able to run through them either. They should differ in difficulty and design. If I run into something that looks like it's straight out of a live-action Disney movie, I'm probably not going to be very worried. But if I come across something that looks like it's the next coming of the Elden Lord, I'm getting ready. I'm preparing for a fight. I'm preparing to die. And I'm not going to be mad if this takes me a while. Now, I know some games make exceptions to this, but if I can run into a room and kill everything with ease, where's the challenge? The game shouldn't be easy. It should challenge you, make you think, make you adapt. It shouldn't be a case of I can sprint here and kill this thing really quickly. You should have to plan out your next move, next fight, next decision. I should feel a sense of excitement and fear, be on the edge of my seat, wondering what's around the next corner or what am I going to face next. Souls-likes are known for being hard, but not unbeatable. Hard, but not unfair. Hard, but not unfun. I want to feel the sense of accomplishment when I finally achieve what's been stopping me. I want to feel excited. I want to feel. And these games do that by taking what you think you've known all along and questioning it. Making you ask yourself, can I do this? Can I beat this game? Like in any game, these should be the hardest challenge of all. However, this is where Souls-like differ. Instead of being a challenge you face and overcome with relative ease, this is where you meet your maker. Bosses within these games are the apex of what you've learned. You can't just stroll up and fumble your way through. It takes time, effort, and strategy. You'll have to figure out their moves, their timings, their sounds, in order to be able to defeat them. They need to differ in design, some as monstrous animal-like beings, and others a thing of beauty. They need lore, a reason for their fight, and a reason for ours. They shouldn't just be another roadblock, but should act to move the story along. They should be hard but fair. They should be the thing that makes you want to quit, but also makes you want to overcome. Checkpoints are the cornerstones of these games, a safe haven for you, a place to rest, relax, reset. These should be scattered around the world you're playing in. Souls-likes don't just have you respawn where you died, they have you placed back at your rest, where you're safe. Here you should be able to heal, upgrade, change abilities, do all the things other games offer to you wherever you are. These games take the things you know and they remove them, limiting you to when you can do this. Batting your way through hordes of enemies, running on your last heal, hoping there's a rest around the corner. This is what makes a Souls-like. Now we've covered all of those things, the things I believe that make a Souls-like. This game's depth took me by surprise. The combat and mechanics are diverse and fun. Parrying, dodging, projectiles, combos, counters, upgrades. Everything a game needs to keep you invested, to keep the gameplay feeling fresh. Progressing through and gaining more and more mechanics and abilities as you go forth, allowing you to adventure further, learn more, survive. Offering you different ways of building your playstyle, a skill tree more in depth than I expected, and runes that change the way you play, making exploring feel rewarding and not like a chore. For a game limited to a two-dimensional landscape, it does an amazing job at making every encounter feel tense, making everything you do matter. Just like the game mechanics, the level of story had me stunned. Despite the cartoonish style, the game is dark and tells a horrifying story of betrayal and heartbreak. It had me questioning everything I thought I'd learn and the decisions I'd made along the way. Each area rich with lore, everyone you encounter having their own story and reason for being there, their own motives and goals. This world is a masterpiece of design and storytelling, something I found myself getting lost within so many times, getting invested into characters I never thought I would, whilst tackling real-world problems that affect so many of our lives day to day. I found myself wanting to learn more, wanting revenge, wanting to be forgiven, wanting for the people I'd grown to attach to not to leave me once again, not to be abandoned as we once were. Now I won't go into spoilers, as the story is best explained by playing through the game yourself, which I highly recommend you do, but just know, this is what we love, what keeps so many of us playing, what keeps us going back for more. Stories we can get invested into, worlds we care about, places we want to explore, characters we don't want to lose. Something I think the AAA studios forgot somewhere along the way. As I just previously mentioned, you'll meet different characters along the way, all varying massively in design and motive, each with their own goals and reasons. It's worth taking your time to get to know these. The game offers you hidden quests within these characters, and things to do to expand the world. Expand your experience. Each character within this game, whether that be a friendly NPC, a mob, or a boss, looks to be crafted with care and purpose. They aren't just thrown there for the sake of the game, but designed to be there, designed to move the story along for one reason or the next. Designed for you. The art style and design of this game is nothing short of beautiful. The choice to have everything in this hand-drawn style is something I think isn't done enough, doing away with the realistic tropes so many companies favour over storytelling and creativity, allowing there to be truly no limits but the ones the developers decide, giving you some of the most grotesque moments, some of the most bone-chilling sequences, something that tugs on your heartstrings, but also some of the most beautiful things I've ever witnessed within a game. Changing the backdrop as you make your way through, keeping it fresh and alive, having the world around you shaped by the story it's telling, tapping into the different themes of different bosses you'll face along the way, settling the tone for what's to come, sweet somber sounds playing once you're safe, once you're home, whilst traditional battle music rings through as the combat and the battlefield emerges. There isn't many games that come out that are brave enough to try something new, to be different, stray away from what's become the norm. But when they do this, and they do it well, it shows, giving you something made out of pure beauty, something truly enjoyable to play, Something that brings out that part of us all that we thought we'd lost so many years ago. When games stopped being the escape we needed and became something we were doing because we've done it for so long. I would say to anyone who's questioning where their love for gaming has gone, try this game. Even if you've never been a Souls-like fan, a 2D fan, a platforming fan, what's the worst that could happen? And maybe, just maybe, you might find something you enjoy.